What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. Didn't feel like running any ads early this morning. Just want to get straight to the conversations and get my thoughts off. So yesterday, the day that tragedies happen, is kind of difficult to react to because you don't want to let your emotions get in the way of what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? And so you kind of want to just figure it out, trying to take it slow. You don't want to deep dive into anything. But I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of people have their theories of who they think is done it and all of this stuff. I'm not sure yet. But we are definitely going to have the conversation, and it is going to be interesting today. So we will get there. We will get there. How do y'all feel today? What's going on? Trini Life says, how are you, Anton? Well, before we get into the show, let me tell you what my thoughts are in general, right? Just because I don't know what all we gonna cover. Decided that I didn't even want to do it in the studio. I just wanted to kind of kick it off out here. I'm aggravated. I'm absolutely aggravated, and the reason that I'm aggravated is because the side, because we all know that it was politically motivated, but the side that is supposed to be about inclusion, making sure that they hear other people's opinions, all of this stuff, they are the ones that obviously is the most evil. They are the most evil people that you could ever see in your entire life. These people are, listen, y'all gonna have to understand something, and I'm gonna get into it later in the show. So I don't want to talk too much about it right now. But what y'all gonna have to understand is that these people are absolutely evil. They are evil more than you will ever think, ever realize in your entire life. Like, real talk. Like, they straight up monsters. And it ain't no other way to frame it, bro. They mentally ill. For a long time, we've tolerated them in that, we let them tell us what their gender is, and we let them get away with that shit. And we let them, go in and tell us to mutilate kids, and we let them get away with that, right? And we let them try to tell us that you shouldn't hire people based off of merit, but you should hire people based off of racist principles, and they got away with that too, right? And then they get away with hate, straight up hate. You wouldn't believe, and it ain't just black people, it's white people, it's liberals, it's people with the septum ring theory. You would not believe the amount of people who I got videos from yesterday, and they deleted them. A lot of them, 80% of them. That's how you know they cowards. They're cowards because they deleted the videos, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute also. But you wouldn't believe the amount of people that actually showed their true colors. No spam in the chat. People showed their true color. If you want to see how people really feel, wait till a life event or a tragedy happen, and then you'll get to see their true colors. These people are evil, bro. Straight up. And y'all gonna have, I keep telling y'all want to be a part of the crew. Y'all want to be friends with these people so bad. You can't wait to join them in and lick them up to shut. Y'all keep aligning yourself with people based off of stuff that they can't even control and you can't control. You can't control if you was a man or a woman, if you was biologically born a man or a woman. You can't control whether or not you was born black or white, but the things that you can control, how you treat people, whether you a good person, if you hate other people, so on and so forth, you not like them. We not like them. At what point do you realize that you need to rock with people based off of character instead of color? At what point do you do like I'll give you an example. When we was in the election last year, right? And I kept asking people that I knew that was conservative in their ways and their money and their principles and how they lived their life, and they said that they was Christians. And I would ask them, and I said, well, if you're so conservative and you love God, why do you continue to support demonic behavior? Think about it for a minute, because God said you will know them by their fruits. Think about what y'all saying. Think about what you do, right? It ain't about how you feel. It's about what you do. What you do is the thing that determines whether or not you a saint or you a demon. And I'm talking about everything: how you raise your kids, how you live your life, how you vote, the people that you support, what you put your money behind, the people that you give your views to. Y'all keep supporting this, and I'm gonna hold y'all accountable. And obviously, it ain't everybody, but if the shoe fit, wear it. Y'all keep supporting this demonic behavior. You keep giving them your views, you give them your visibility, you ain't calling them out. You know, people in real life that continue to espouse these negative dispositions. Bro, if you see somebody that supports somebody else getting killed, and the only thing that this man did, in which he was a father, he was married, he was only 31 years old, and the only thing that he ever did was invite other people who had a difference of opinion to actually debate their ideas, but uphold what it is that we represent as far as no censorship. If the thing that you think he deserved to die for is having an opinion, and you see people that's cool with this, I don't wish, bro, y'all have heard me 1,000 times on this platform. 1,000 times on this platform, I say I don't advocate for nobody to go to jail or prison that didn't deserve it, and everybody deserved their due process. I don't advocate for anybody, no matter whether you agree with me or disagree with me, to be able to not feed their family. And I don't advocate for anybody to die just because I don't necessarily like them. I say that those are my 3 life rules in real life. It don't matter how you feel. It don't matter if you disagree with me. I make sure that I allow for my own chat to be able to say what they want to say, and I don't censor anybody because I invite people that have a difference of opinion than me. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that y'all continue to align with a party, with a group of people, with a movement, whatever it is that you want to identify as or identify with, based off of the fact that you look like them, but it don't matter what they do, it don't matter if they evil, it don't matter, none of this other stuff matters. So you rock with these people, you support them, you give them your views, you give them your money, and y'all supposed to be talking about how y'all actually, man, y'all don't let, man, listen, bro, I don't, at this point in my life, what I've realized, what I've learned from Charlie Kirk's situation, because it's not even just the fact that he got assassinated, it's how people treat the situation afterwards. When people that I don't care for, when bad things happen to them, let's say it's a life event or somebody passed, I don't speak on it. I just don't speak on it. Like, I don't have to, and let's be clear, nobody is asking for y'all empathy. Like, nobody asks anybody for empathy for the situation. But it's a different conversation when you start to wish harm, or you happy that somebody is fatherless, or a wife is widowed, or a mother loses a son or something like that. That's crazy to me. That's demonic. That's demonic. Ain't nobody asked you for your empathy, but nobody asked you to just say some wild stuff. But it's cool though. I'm not tripping about it. I'm not tripping about it. You know why I'm not tripping about it? Because it actually is a beautiful thing. I'd rather know what I'm dealing with than have all of these fake people all around pretending like they good people. They showed that y'all got to pay attention to it. Listen, the devil showed his hand. The devil showed his hand. I'm telling you that the devil showed his hand. We have gone down such a bad press, like just this bad wormhole over the last, I would say, at least 20 to 25 years, at least 25 years, we have went down such a bad wormhole of horrible people and horrible principles, and we've literally let the devil plant seeds here, plant seeds here. Y'all think that it's okay to bust down the men with men. Y'all think that it's okay for people to change their genders. You can go and eliminate babies. We having sex unprotected everywhere. Seeds is everywhere. Diseases is everywhere. People got hateful rhetoric. All of this stuff, right? We got all of this stuff that just been proliferating, and it's just been slowly building for a long time, that we've gotten so far away from the core of who we are supposed to be as good people that we don't even know the difference between good and bad anymore. We don't know the difference between good and bad anymore. We don't know the difference. We are so confused and deranged that what you think is right is wrong. And we actually got the church flying alphabet community flags up now. Left is right, right is left now. Good is bad. Bro, unless you so dope in the community, you hit somebody over the head, you went to prison, you got some negative. Bro, it's people we support. Our culture is so messed up that we support people that have actually done crime, and we have empathy and sympathy for them. But then people that actually stand on business when it comes to what we supposed to do from a righteousness perspective, those are the ones that we actually want to die. Crazy. It's crazy times. But you're going to have to make a decision. That's what it's come down to for me. You're going to have to make a decision. Everybody, salvation is individual. And I don't think for not 1 second that anybody is going to be absolved from it. And so you can play the fence, you can do all of this, but God knows your heart. And everybody is going to have to make a decision on where they stand in these times. It is what it is. You're going to be hot, you're going to be cold, you're going to be left, you're going to be right. You can't be on the fence. And this is where I draw my line in the sand. For whatever reason, and I had a lot of time to think about it last night, because Wednesday, after I got done live streaming a couple of live streams, I had some time to sit with my daughter and have some conversations. And and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I had some conversations with some people who showed their hand yesterday in real life. You know what I mean? I don't say names of anybody that I deal with in real life. I had some conversations with people that I was so surprised, and they showed their hand in real life. And what I realized is that I'm just intolerant. I'm intolerant now. I don't have any kind of it's up for me. Like, for me, it's all about what I believe is right, what I believe is true. And I'm not pulling no punches. I'm not negotiating with people. I'm not doing none of that. Like, my disposition towards life now is I don't have no, like, I don't negotiate with the devil, bro. Real talk. I don't negotiate with the devil. Several people yesterday showed their hands in real life. In real life. I'm not talking about on the internet. I'm talking about real life. And I went home and I thought about it. I prayed about it, and then I went to sleep. I woke up this morning, I brushed my teeth. I prayed about it again, and I just made my decision. Like, I just drew my line in the sand, and I was just like, yo, you know, somebody cussed me out yesterday, went off on me. And I realized, I said, you know what? I just been carrying some people for too long. I just been rocking out with people for too long. And I'm just not interested anymore. I'm not interested in begging people to do the right thing or begging people to get their life together or any of that type of stuff. Bro, this for me, this is a reality check. It was straight up a reality check. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just not like everybody else. And I'm cool with that. I'm not like nobody. I'm not like none of these people, bro. I'm only rocking with people that's going in a direction. Straight up. That is my slogan. That is what I stand for when it comes to the bag chasers. I'm not rocking with anybody that's not going in the direction that I'm not going in. It just is what it is. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you are. I'm going my own way, bro. I'm doing my own thing. I don't care what nobody else is talking about. I'm not trying to negotiate with people. I'm not letting people drag me down no more. I'm just gonna keep winning. I'm gonna keep winning. And if I have anything to say about Charlie Kirk, right? If I had to say anything about Charlie Kirk, I would say that his life, he's gonna be greater now as a result of it because there's people that carry the torch and they just, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's such a tragic situation, but good can always come out of it, or you just make the best out of it, or you learn from it and you adjust from it, and everything is up from there. So I'm not gonna talk about it. Like I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm not gonna make no special announcements of people that I'm divesting myself from or any of that type of stuff. I ain't on that type of time. I'm too grown for that. But what I'm just gonna do is everything now is an action word. Everything is action. No more talking. I'm not having conversations with people. I'm not trying to convince people no more as far as like, and I'm talking about in real life. I'm not talking about on the internet. I'm talking about in real life. I'm 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 up. I'm up. Separate yourself. That's the word from the day. Separate yourself. The word of the day for me is separation. I'm separating myself from anybody that is not going in the direction that I'm going in. That's it. That's it for me. Real life. I'm just not rocking. I don't care, bro. I genuinely don't care. Straight up. And you'll see. You'll see. I ain't gonna, like I said, bro. If you'd have known the level of disrespect that I got yesterday, I was like, I was so taken aback. It was almost heartbreaking. Real talk. It was almost heartbreaking. I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. You know how you get so upset and so aggravated that you get quiet? It was one of them type of situations. Like, but look, I got my family. I got my family. My family is the chasers. My family is the chasers. That's my family. When I show up to a city or whatever, and I'm rethinking everything now, right? Like even meetups and meetings and live events and doing all of that stuff. I'm rethinking everything, bro. I gotta self-preservation. We gotta preserve our kings and queens, man. We gotta preserve our kings and queens. They don't want us to win. This is the liberals, right? Let me tell you what liberals is like, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into the show. Liberals is like, oh man, let's fight fair and square. Let's do it. Let's debate. Let's vote. Let's do all of this. Then they lose, and that's when they pull out the guns. The ones that's against guns got guns to shoot people that they don't care for when they lose. They don't want him going out. They didn't want Charlie Kirk out there educating young boys and kids and adding value into their life and bringing them back to God and traditional values. Boy, do you know how powerful it is when you actually live in what you say, when you actually love God outwardly and people embrace you for it? Man, that's the biggest way to piss off the devil. Honestly. We listen, rappers, demonic people, they walk away, they get their eyeballs tattooed, they got tattoos all over their faces, teardrops and everything. They walk around, they get the utmost respect. They get second life, get a strong following, sell 1,000 records, preach demonic things into our society and into our core and teach our people to hate each other and Americans. They could say anything that they want, and the demons get praised by demons. You know why? Because it's always going to be more of them than it is of us. But our voices is more powerful than theirs. That's why even the Bible say the lake enlargeth itself. The path to righteousness is narrow, but the lake enlargeth itself. They have y'all seen them? They go to their concerts and it look like a ritual. They are They lit as demons. It's a demon convention out here. And you want to be amongst them because you feel left out. When you gonna stand up and be a grown man or a grown woman and teach your kids differently? How you gonna keep on hiding amongst devils and they know you there? They just pretending like they don't see you. They don't you know, bro? In middle school, in high school, you know where you belong and you know when you awkward. You know where you belong and you know where you awkward. Have you ever hung out with people that you knew just wasn't amongst you, but you stuck around too long? And it's like, man, this makes me feel icky. They even know that you're not supposed to be there. They know. It's almost like spotting a good girl, right? And it's like a good girl that's trying to hang out with chicks that's for the streets. And it's like, don't you know you different? You're not like them. Your life is different. What you trying to do? You trying to be cool? You want to be a part of what you think is the cool kids club? But they don't know that the cool kids is the ones, they want to be like you because they tormented. Let me talk to you for a minute before we get into the show. People in the world wants to be like you. They are tormented. They hate their life. You know why they get so many chains and all of this stuff, but they have no substance in their core? Because don't get me wrong, stuff is okay. It's cool to have money. It's cool to have resources. Do you know that they wish that they could be like you? They wish they had your upbringing. They wish they were raised in a two-parent household. They wish for the life that Charlie Kirk had. They wish that God had favor on them. They wish they can get away from the devil. They wish they hadn't sold their soul. And that's why you see rich people every single day performing demonic behavior. And Will Smith and all of them will tell you, hey, money don't mean anything. You sitting here on the sideline like, man, well, Scoop, give it to me. I'll take it. I'll go into the room. I'll do whatever it takes to get in there. They know because they seen it. And then they telling y'all, they giving you the clues. They say, listen, man, this ain't really the life that you want. I'm tormented. I'm not happy about myself. People that are happy with or without money because they understand that their purpose is greater and the money is added to it. That's why the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added to you. But you got to get that good thing first. You got to develop the character. You got to love God. That way, you don't worship it, because God never said that money is bad. He said that the love of money is the root of all evil. So their core is based off of using stuff to make them feel good about themselves, because they are tormented and they need all of these little things and trinkets and stuff to keep them distracted. That's why you see people with addictions. You're not hearing me. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention, bro. I'm trying to tell you that they are being tortured on this earth, and their place is right at the pit of hell, bro. They are going to bust hell wide open, and they will be there for eternity. And you are going to have to make a decision of whether or not you're trying to impress these people who are tormented and is looking for other people to go with them so that they can justify the decision that they made in their life. Do you know that people that make bad decisions want other people to make bad decisions, not because they actually think that they're right, but it's because they want to take somebody else with them? And so when you see them peek their head from around the corner, when something happens, when an executive got killed from United Healthcare, when a trans person was shooting kids over at the Catholic school, when Charlie Kirk get assassinated, they show themselves, they pull the mask down for 5 seconds. You just ain't paying attention. They pull it down and they say, that's so good. Who rejoices at death? Demons. The only people that rejoice in death are demons. Saints celebrate life. Demons, they celebrate death. You have to pay attention, bro, and look at the people that are in your circle. Y'all not listening. And so it's easy for you to get distracted on stuff that don't even matter. And that's how they keep you. That's how they seduce you. They say, hey, you want this thing? Hey, you want this? Oh, look, I got a girl for you. I could teach you how to do this. And you jump right head first into the mire, right into the lake of fire. Come out from amongst them. Those are not your people. And it ain't based off of your looks or your core or your pigmentation in your skin and all of that. Man, listen, bro. I don't have no love for none of these people. You're going to have to draw a line in the sand. Straight up. It is what it is. And let the chips fall where they may. You not like them, even if you thought that you were over the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life. You're going to have to declare that I no longer want to exalt the devil as the head of my life. And I want y'all to also understand this too. When you decide, I'm going to give you a word today. I'm going to be 100 with you. I don't care what nobody talking about. When you decide that you want to divest yourself from the devil, you're going to get afflicted. Because the devil want to make you think that you made the wrong decision. And so sometimes when you say, you know what, God, I give my life to you. You know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be a part of this no more. Think about it. It's almost like trying to leave a game. It's like trying to leave a game. And they want to jump you in for life. But if you ever renounce it, then they want to say, hey, you can't leave. What you mean you want to leave? Why wouldn't somebody want you to do something better than them and then divest yourself from it? You know what? you want to do things you think you better than us. That's the first thing that they're gonna say. If you're a black person, the first thing that they're gonna say, you know what? Oh, that's all right, coon. Wait a minute, I thought that y'all was against racism. You calling me the very thing that you accusing racist white people from calling you. Why would you call me the thing that you're telling me that you're protesting against other people calling you? Whatever, nigga. I'm telling you, they are going to do everything that they say that they are against. They gonna call you every name in the book. They gonna try to remove your ability to earn. They gonna do they'll try to take your life. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you're gonna have to stand tall. Everything and everyone is going to come against you that you knew, because it's all you knew. It's all you knew. You surrounded yourself by people that made them feel good from the pleasures that they can get on their fleshly body. All of their treasures is stored up right here on this earth. It ain't up there, it's down here. That's where all of it is. That's why people are so gung-ho about how many holes they can hit, or how much I can make myself feel good, or how many kids that I can kill as a result of getting pregnant from something that I could have prevented in the first place. How can I absolve myself from taking personal responsibility and accountability of my life? Why do I always blame everybody else? You know why? Because the minute that you take personal responsibility and ownership, you take back control. You take your power back. You know why they say forgiveness is necessary? Not for the other person, so that you can release yourself from being controlled by other people. It's right there. They're going to show themselves. They will never have a profile picture. They hide amongst us. They hide amongst us. They tiptoe around us because they really know your power, but they don't ever want to tell, they don't ever want to be released from it because the devil is afflicting them. So the minute that they say something or they show their face, you say, rebuke you. They don't want you to say, listen, the last thing they want you to say is Jesus is king. The last thing that they want you to do is have a strong family. The last thing that they want you to do is have your kids make it out the hood. The last thing that they want you to do is never to come back and then grow, get into something greater. They're going to show themselves and they never show their face. And that's why you get a peek every now and then when a life event happens. That's why you get a peek here and there when a life event's happen. Even this person right there, look, he's ashamed to say what he says, and then he does like this. He put this emoji up. He won't even show his face. You a coward. You a coward. See, I sit right here on this live stream right in front of you with my real name and no filters on. You sit behind a computer and you put up an image that you find online because you scared. You wear a mask when you protest because you don't want nobody to know who you are and where you work, because you don't even really stand for what you stand for. You hiding amongst us. You're hiding amongst us. You're scared. You're a child. You're scared. You scared. You fear us. They fear us. And we so busy trying to fit in amongst them. They scared, bro. They know that their time is coming and they trying to take as many souls as they can with them to hell. They trying to take as many souls as they can with them to hell. And they never gonna come to you straight up. All of them got a mask. Every last one of them. What you look at right here on the internet is a representation of what happens in real life. That's why nobody is authentic. The women is going to come to you saying that I'm a baddie. The guys is going to come to you and say, yo, listen, you know what? I can change your life. What's up, baby? And they're going to take your soul. They are agents for demons. They demons, agents for the devil. Agents for the devil. I don't have no fear in me. Not at all. And so until my last breath, I am going to continue to declare that Jesus is king. I love God. I stand on conservative principles, and I rock out with people that is a reflection of the word of God and is a reflection. You don't even have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect, but if you are striving every day to be a better version of yourself, I rock with you. I rock with you. Until the end of my days, I will forever declare that Jesus is king. It is what it is. And it ain't no turning back from that. I will never turn my back on God. But you monsters, you evil, demonic monsters. And it is what it is. I drew my line in the sand. It is what it is. Now, it's on you. The rest is up to you. You're going to have to make your own decision. I drew my line in the sand. I understand what comes with that. I understand that everybody is not going to like me. As a matter of fact, I accept the fact that everybody don't like me. God got me. No matter what happens, God got me. It is what it is. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that assuming that everything is just going to be peaches and cream after that. I know that what comes with those words. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I know what comes with that. I know that not everything is going to work out for me. Everything is not going to work out in my favor. Everything is not going to be peaches and cream. Everybody not going to like me. I'm not just going to have a cakewalk through life. It's going to be some times that it's going to be difficult, and you're just going to have to soldier through. But I tell you what, no matter how hard it gets, no matter whatever happens, Jesus is king. I love God, and I might not necessarily be exactly what you want me to be, but I tell you what, I'm what God wants me to be right now in order to get over what it is that I need to get over. He said, Anton, you use your platform to educate people, entertain people, but make sure that you preach the word of God when necessary. And when I give you a word, this is what I want you to say. Everybody's not going to accept it, but it's okay. Say what I told you to say. I said what I said. I said what I mean, and I mean what I say. Let's get into it. Let's get into the show. You know me, I always like to acknowledge the people that support the platform. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me. Spencer Campbell, I also appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me. I also want to acknowledge somebody that I want to acknowledge on PayPal. Give me a second. I want to make sure I don't miss nobody because everybody is important. Give me a second. Let me pull it up on the computer. And then we're going to go ahead and get it popping with the show. We're going off the cuff today. All right. I want to say thank you to Kim. Kim Lashom said thank you and God bless you. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. Slobodan says, get some coffee. I got you. Chris Stella says, you're awesome. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you to Brad. Brad, I appreciate you also. Thank you for holding me down. Let me acknowledge the super chats and then we're gonna go ahead and get it popping. Craig G, thank you. Craig G says, good morning, Chasers. What up, though? AD, we're gonna keep being men of God and running it up and keeping our character intact. God bless everyone. Rest in peace. Call me Mr. Bibbs says, much love from the east side. We support you, sir. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Bibbs. Equal Opportunity Smoke says, I'm so disappointed in the black community today. Don't be. Don't be. That's not, your people is not based off of color. Your people is based off of character. Don't be disappointed. Be happy that they showed themselves exactly who they are. Please lead us with prayer. I'm going to get to it, Jim Short. Yep. Orlando Williams Jr. says, my granny told me that the war is between good and evil. I see now what she meant. Sarge says, morning AD, this day 24 years ago was the first and only time in my 59 years on this planet that our country came together, race, politics, etc., and it didn't matter. Thank you, Sarge. Will Wade says, those innocent babies will never see their daddy. Jason A-Team says, tired of all of the demons and people not being able to debate and live. I am sad for our country. His death is a big symbol that America isn't the same. We need to come together over this. Choose sides. Night Jade says, my circles as of yesterday are a lot smaller. Yeah, but I'm in it, Night Jade. Equal Opportunity Smoke says, black people support criminals more than college graduates. Ryan Powell says, I feel you, bro. Make no peace with evil. Alaquandria Glover says, prayers to his family. Shout out to Alaquandria. Umberto Ramos says, 2 Corinthians 6:14. Thank you, Trini Life. I got you in a minute. Be not equally yoked together with unbelievers. That's facts. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? Thank you, AD, for doing what you do. I got you, Umberto. Thank you. Courtney Egger Show says, I made content on this. The amount of people in real life who were coming at me was crazy, bro. Straight demons out here, people telling me he deserved it. Like, what the F is wrong with y'all goofy demons? Sir Mr. Jason says, what up, Anton? I feel disgusted and disappointed. America's not supposed to be like this. We're definitely in the end of times. Mr. Carter, Jay says, Matthew 24:12, and because lawlessness will increase so much, the love of many will grow cold. We're seeing this in real time. It's a shame people are celebrating the death of someone. Onaka, thank you, Onaka. I appreciate you. Daddy in the Caddy says Anton literally preaching today. Amen. Orlando Williams Jr. says I actually seen the video. My mind is tripping. Eddie Moda says 80 yesterday I discovered who is truly evil and who and has no shame or value for what this country stands for or humanity in general. Disgusting and vile extremists. This event truly showed what the libs stand for. I'm shocked. Don't be shocked. My best friend called me friend Steven from Django. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. Nichelle, what up? Nichelle says we finna shame the devil some more though. He won't have a foothold on our lives. We made our side known, and that's that. To God be all the glory. Thank you, Nichelle, for the 50 ball. I appreciate you for supporting the platform. Thank you, my love. 392Q says stay safe out here. Security everywhere you go. Told Myra not to do the debate in Asheville, North Carolina. We need your voice and many other positive people. Pretty Boy 79 says $10 for saying 10 toes down. You right. Dolores says you are right. All Production says stay safe and be well, Anton. Oh, I'm good. Eric D says, what up, though? I appreciate you, Eric D. Fit Billionaire says, I commend you for still trying to help people. If it were me, I would have took the bag and disappeared. Also, I want to set up an interview for the job you posted. Perspective 11, thank you, Fit. I knew I was never of them. I think differently. Sarge says, you spitting truth today. Thanks, brother. MP says, the fact that our culture is celebrating the death of a father and husband off of words is mind-blowing. I definitely been side-eyeing a lot of folks I was cool with. Trini Life, thank you, Trini Life, for holding me down. I appreciate you for supporting the platform on Cash App. Thank you to everybody that support the platform. Let's get into it, y'all. Y'all ready to get started with the show? It's our show, man. This is us. This is us. We here. We here, y'all. All right, y'all. The first thing that I'm going to share with y'all is an update. It's so much to cover, man. It's so much to cover. Hold on. Let me get this update instead. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. This is the person of interest. FBI's releasing photos. This literally just hit a couple minutes ago. All right, so I'm gonna share this with y'all really quickly. This is the person of interest. Okay, this is the person of interest. This is the person that the FBI is releasing a photo and that they're looking for.
And these are two of the photos that the FBI Salt Lake City just released. They say we're asking for the public's help identifying this person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. So the FBI just releasing moments ago photos of who they're calling a person of interest in Charlie Kirk's murder. You can see both of those different angles of this person of interest right here. We were hearing initially that the person of interest they were looking for was wearing all black, and now we can see from these photos this person of interest wearing a black hat, a baseball cap, with their eyes shielded with dark sunglasses and dark attire right here. So they're asking for the public's help in identifying this person of interest. They're asking anyone to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. This as they continue their search for the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk yesterday as he was speaking at Utah Valley University. And we continue to get more information. This just in, though, as the FBI has released these two photos, and it does appear that these are surveillance photos of a person of interest in Charlie Kirk's murder. I also wanted to share this. This is just an additional post that they were sharing via the social media platform X, saying we are asking for the public's help identifying this person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Now, earlier, we were also hearing additional information from Fox News indicating that sources are telling Fox News messages were found written on the gun and ammunition used in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We were hearing from the FBI earlier this morning with additional information as they had retrieved and found a high-powered bolt action rifle, they say, was connected with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I also wanted to share this live look with you. This is from the campus of the university right here. This is the scene where all of this unfolded yesterday. So new information today coming from the FBI is that a rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory right now analyzing that weapon. Investigators also collecting footwear impressions, a palm print, and forearm imprints, and they're running that through analysis. The FBI says as of this hour, they have received more than 130 tips, and now they're asking for the public's help in finding the person of interest they say is connected with this case. Another look right here of these surveillance photos. As you can see, two different angles. So if you do know this person, you are asked to call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, the FBI did give an update that was about 12 minutes in length earlier.
I'm going to go over actually to the FBI giving the update. Let me pull that up for you guys really quickly. And this is where they spoke and said that they had actually recovered a weapon and the rifle that was used in the assassination. And this is what they had to say.
Last night, I communicated with Erica. The family's devastated. As a commissioner of public safety, as a father, as a husband, I can only imagine what that family's going through. The heinous event that happened yesterday is not Utah. This is not what we're known for. Over the past several weeks, we've seen this state come together to help families in mourning, come together as a community to show what Utah is known for a state of character, of service, of camaraderie, of a neighboring feel. We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was, and how we will work to bring to justice the actions of one individual or any other individuals that assisted in that. Our state has gone through a lot, and we will come out successful. With that, I'll turn the time over to Special Agent Bowles in charge.
Good morning. My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the Special Agent in charge of the Salt Lake Field Office.
When y'all say, because I see y'all in the chat, when y'all say that y'all happy that it wasn't a black man, what exactly does that mean? What exactly does that mean? When y'all say that y'all happy that it wasn't a black man, what does that mean? Like you got a sense of relief now that it's not a black man. Now you can rest easy. Does that make it different? Why are y'all so obsessed? What if it was a black man in that?
Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning, I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered.
Let me re-emphasize that I do not censor people. The only thing that I ask that people do, it doesn't matter whether you agree with me or whether you disagree with me. The only thing that I ask that people do, especially today, is A, do not spam the chat. B, try not to be overly disrespectful. And no, those are basically the only two rules. But y'all can disagree. We all can say whatever it is that y'all want to say. I don't have any controls or words that's blocked out or anything like that. But just try not to spam the chat, please. I appreciate you.
A wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Any attack on the First Amendment is an attack on the very foundation of our democracy. That is why we will relentlessly pursue this case and the shooter until we find him. We also continue to grieve with the family and the community. It's our community. If you have any video or images from the shooting, we ask you to please submit them to our digital media tip website at www.fbi.gov.
So essentially what he's saying is that they've recovered the weapon, that everything that has had some inscription on it. I'm not going to assume. I know that people in the stream are saying that other people are saying that it had Antifa or something on it. I don't assume anything until I get real evidence. And so I wouldn't even confirm that he passed away yesterday, which when I seen the video, it had looked really, really bad. I wouldn't confirm that he passed away or anything yesterday until I actually got real word. So when the president of the United States of America said that he had passed away, that's when I then acknowledged it on a live stream. But now that they didn't release the photo, I think that once you release a photo, the internet, you give a photo to the internet, it's over. It's over. It's very rare, because if I'm being absolutely transparent and honest with you guys, my initial thoughts was, man, if they don't have nobody already, if they don't have no photo out of him, which I seen the video of somebody climbing on the roof. I seen the video of somebody identifying somebody was on the roof. And I was wondering to myself, did y'all see that video with a person? Let me pull it up. The person that was, they was taking a video of somebody on the roof. Let me see. Have y'all seen this video right here?
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying.
Huh.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there.
So my question is, if y'all seen this happening and you seen a person on a roof, but then you also know that there's an event that's going on, and it's a person laying on the roof, Why wouldn't you say something? Why wouldn't you tell the police? Why wouldn't you notify somebody? Hey, listen, it's somebody on the roof up there. I seen this yesterday and I was thinking to myself, why wouldn't they say something? How are y'all missing people on the roof? Bro, the first thing that I would look at this day and age, after whatever was going on with the whole Trump situation in Pennsylvania, the first thing that I would look at in this day and age is the roofs. Hey, what's going on? I look at the roofs of the buildings that I can see from my window over here. I promise to God, every day that I come in here, the first thing that I look over is that I'll be looking at the roof. And it's just instinct right now. Now it's just habit. I just look at the roofs. First thing I look at is the roof. Scan the room, look around me, look at the roof. Okay. Crazy. Looking at all of the air things that be going on. It honestly, it's just normalized now. I just look at roofs. First thing I do is I look up. Look at all of the vantage points. And if you actually seen where Charlie Kirk was sitting, if you seen the aerial view of the area where Charlie Kirk was sitting, it was like it was a fishbowl. It went down. You know what I'm saying? Like a waterfall. It went down. You said his security needs to be questioned. I don't think it had nothing to do with his security. I don't think it had anything to do with his security. Like, for example, if you look at these type of roofs, if you look at this video right here, right? His security is supposed to know somebody is laying down somewhere. Like, if you're looking from a vantage point of going down into like a fishbowl, it would be very difficult from my perspective, in my opinion, to be able to see somebody on a roof. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know, man. Maybe we should just do pop-ups from now on. But the FBI do have somebody in interest, and so they released the photo. Let me show the video or the photo again. Let me show the photo one more time, just so you guys can see it for yourself. That way, if any of your friends look like this, then you can make sure you call the FBI's tip line and the digital tip line and be able to find this guy. I can't believe that it would be that difficult to find this guy. It has to be. They have to have this guy within 48 hours, now that they release this to the internet. This is the biggest story this year. And there's no way that you can tell me that they shouldn't have this guy within 48 hours. Y'all said Officer Tatum does the same thing as Charlie. It's a few people that actually goes out and debate people. I don't know if I've been invited to those style of debates. If y'all notice, honestly, and I've turned every last one of them down. And I didn't know that it would be anything related to this or anything like that. But if y'all notice, honestly, I said that I stopped debating a long time ago because I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with people that I don't necessarily agree with. My goal is to try to convince people otherwise. Man, I don't debate. I don't do that stuff. I'm not doing no public debates or none of that stuff. No street debates, no nothing. I don't do none of that. I know that other people do it, but I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. Honestly. I've been telling y'all. I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for a while now. I said, man, I don't debate no more. I don't debate. I'm not interested. So, yeah, man, I think that self-preservation and safety got to be the number one priority. Let me read some of these super chats, and we're going to go over to Trump. Now, the time to stand together. Shout out to King Manasseh. Devin Watkins says demons get more praise than angels nowadays. Eva Brito says your words are being heard in a small town here in Brazil. AD, keep up the work of God. Shout out to my people over there in Brazil. I appreciate y'all. James Reed says the liberals and the Uniparty are destroying this experiment we call America. These people say that they are non-violent. Everyone, please remember God still reigns. Manny Plays PC says, I thought the same thing. The second that I saw him, I would have called out, especially after the 2 attempts on Trump's life. Mrs. Jasmine Leaper, shout out to Jasmine, says, due to someone's hatred, he became a martyr. I also want to acknowledge Brandon Burke. Thank you, Brandon Burke, on Cash App for holding me down. I appreciate you. Wesley Turner says you got to have counter snipers at all outdoor speaking events now. Man, we were supposed to just be able to, bro, this is so weird. Like, we are supposed to be, he is definitely a martyr. He is definitely a martyr. We are supposed to be able to have conversations in public without somebody getting assassinated and sniped, bro. What is the world coming to? Real talk, what is the world coming to, man? This is Trump. I'm going to move over to Trump. Trump dropped a video yesterday addressing the Charlie Kirk situation, and this is what he had to say. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the 2 young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
So that's Trump, and that was his official message about Charlie Kirk. That was released via Truth Social. I'm going to get to some other reactions in a minute. And Trump also had some remarks on 9/11, and so I want to share that with you guys right now. So we're going to go over that really quickly, and then we're going to move over into the next part of the show. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd, very, very big. Thank you, my fellow Americans. 84 years ago this morning, the banks of the Potomac were filled with the clamor of construction workers who broke.
So that was Trump awarding Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom. And that was his remarks. And so to be acknowledged by the President of the United States of America, to be a friend of the President of the United States of America. And I'm still trying to understand what is wrong with y'all and what is in y'all hearts. Because listen. I know that the internet has taught y'all to troll. I also know that the internet has taught y'all hate. I know that your upbringing and your mother and your father has taught you to hate. But what I am trying to understand is, why are you continuing to be so hateful? Why are you filled with hate? If you were not interested, if it wasn't something that was meaningful to you, then why do you watch conversations that's being had about Charlie Kirk? Why is things that I'm not interested in, I don't watch. People that I don't rock with, I don't watch. If you didn't care, which I know that you do care because it's meaningful to you, you watch it and you comment on it. Why are you guys so compelled to try to convince us that you don't care when we know that you do? Miserable. You know what else people do? They take sound bites. And that's one of the worst things of the internet, is that they take sound bites, but they don't look at the complete conversation. And or just as bad, if not worse, they listen to what everybody else says, and then they take their talking points and they never even hear Charlie Kirk say anything for themselves. Are you telling me that the only thing that you've ever heard Charlie Kirk say is something about black people negatively? You're a liar. You're a liar. Now, it's one thing if somebody is debating him or he's having a conversation and he says, well, you need to be accountable for yourself. And if you want to clean up your community, then do this and stop blaming everybody else for it. That's not hate. That's called accountability. I know that your mother never taught you that before. And so it's difficult for you to understand that that's a real thing. You've never been told discipline. You've never been taught accountability. She always gave you flaming hot Cheetos, even as a little kid. And so you've always gotten your way. And so if somebody tells you, no, you're wrong, then you think right off the top of the bat that they're racist against you. No, it's called accountability. It's called ownership. people take some talking point. This is what you're, shut up. You ain't heard him say nothing. You ain't never watched the speech. You don't even vote. You don't even vote. You don't even know nothing. People, honestly, people just be talking. They literally just be talking. They steal a talking point from somebody else. Well, I heard. Well, you should stop hearing and stop being a little girl and go and find out if it was really said for yourself. Go and see for yourself. People just be talking, or they'll take a sound bite. Somebody will record something for 3 seconds. Yeah, man. Look at the full context of the conversation. Look at the person that was having a conversation with them. Look at the question that was being asked. Look at the debate. All of that. People just be saying anything. They say anything whatsoever. They say anything. Anytime somebody tell you about yourself, you start feeling some type of way. That's why y'all can't take the heat. See, I don't censor my chat because I know when I'm right. I know when I'm right, I'm right. And I'm willing to defend what it is that I say. I don't hide. And so I don't censor people unless they are spamming the chat or they are incredibly disrespectful, because I stand on what I said and I mean what I say. And you want to live in an echo chamber and you take little sound bites and you think that that's supposed to mean that you're right. That don't mean nothing. Let's move on with the show. I think I want to go into some politicians' reactions. That's why they hide. That's why they don't show their face. I want to go into some politicians' reactions about Charlie Kirk. Apparently this is what happened on the House floor during a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk.
The chair would ask that all members present in the chamber and those in the gallery please rise for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family. What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise? Shh.
There's someone who may lead us in a moment of prayer out loud for Charlie and his family.
Shh. Let's wait a minute. Wait
Why would she be cursing and why would she be yelling like that?
a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order.
Thank you, A. Wyatt. I'm going to read that super chat shortly.
We will join prayer right after this, okay? The chair lays before the House a communication. The House will be in order.
All right. Also got AOC's reaction. I want to go over to AOC really quickly. And what her reaction was to hearing the news of Charlie Kirk passing. Let me share that with you guys.
This afternoon. I mean, I think what has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end.
Congresswoman, what message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment? What message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media?
You know, beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action, and we need to talk about, yes, there are words, but most importantly, we are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people are looking to us to do something about this. And every single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America. And every single day, there are people in this building that continue to vote against doing anything.
I said the same thing, bro. I said the same thing. Lord, what is wrong with these people, bro? What is wrong with these people? Are we not necessarily trying to focus on, making sure that the family prayers up for the family? Man, I long for I hate the fact that their children is going through this. I don't like the fact did y'all pray for the wife? We ain't say none of that. Nothing. They immediately pivoted to gun laws. Really? This is what we doing? We pivoted over to the gun debate thing. We went, hey, what's your reaction to Charlie Kirk passing away? And her first thing was, man, and the gun laws. Really? Is this what we got? Now they want to take away your ability to protect yourself, and that's what they're using it for. So they're using this, and she's wrong. She could never be more wrong. The thing that is the Charlie Kirks, the trans shooter over in Minneapolis, all of these different things, the shooting of the politicians. This is coming from indoctrination. This has nothing to do with gun control. They don't want to address the core issue, is that they have been basically enabling bad behavior. I seen Jasmine Crockett practically wish something on Elon Musk and Trump just a few months ago. They don't want to talk about their ideologies, their indoctrinations. They don't want to talk about what happens on these campuses and what they're teaching, and that they're actually teaching hate in a way of reverse racism or separation from group, not upholding the constitutions and the laws or any of that type of stuff. They don't talk about that. They're using this as an opportunity to try to say that we need stronger gun laws. The root of all of this foolishness, because to even identify somebody that likes to debate on campuses as a person that you would want to kill in the first place is the issue. That is the issue. The right is not inciting violence. The right is the people that are dying. The right are the people that are getting assassinated. Those are the ones that's actually, they tried to kill the president of the United States of America, for God's sakes. And he wasn't even the president of the United States of America. Charlie Kirk just got hit by a sniper. Who on the right do you know are they actually trying to hit with a sniper? I'm just curious. Somebody said a photo of the shooter has been released. I know. I've already shown it on the platform. Who do you know on the right that they trying to take out right now? I'm just asking. Where? Who? The people that's on the left. Who do you know the people on the left that they trying to take out right now? Just curious. Think about it. Every shooter is a weirdo. Every shooter is a weirdo left-wing nut. If you look at the majority of the crime that is happening in the community, they come from people that are on the left. It is not coming from the right. Now, the right got their own problems. They like to smoke meth. They like to do a lot of things that's wrong. You got a few races over there too. Nobody is saying that the right is completely right. It's like capitalism. It's not perfect, but it's better than the left. I can tell you that for sure. It's better than the left. That's a fact. All where the majority of the gun violence is happening, where the majority of where they eliminating your babies and flushing them down the toilet, it's all coming from the left. Whenever you see some little kids get shot up in a school, it's not coming from the right. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? This is not coming. They don't shoot up little kids on the right. They don't change your gender and cut off your balls on the right. They don't advocate for single-parent households on the right. Now, again, it doesn't mean that it's not violence that happens or that they don't need to do things differently or that they don't have some racism on the right or whatever, but the foundation of what you are supposed to be in a conservative household is supposed to be strong family values, a balance of masculine and femininity, and then also making sure that we acknowledge and respect the laws of the land and the rules of the land. It's a very simple concept. If you look at the left, it's a free-for-all. They don't have any structure. Do you know that the left don't have structure? They don't have anything that they believe in. They think that anybody should be able to do whatever it is that they want to do when they want to do it. That anybody can cross over here into the border. Anybody can bring in their own culture into here. They all weird. You're weird. You that say that you are on the left, but you love God. No, you don't. You weird. You the type of person that you just like Jamal Bryant. If there's anybody that I am absolutely disgusted at, anybody that I think is a poster child for example, what is wrong with the black community is Jamal Bryant. I kicked the girl out of my studio for showing me a video of Jamal Bryant the other day. No cap. No cap. I said, you know what, you gotta go, because you know I ain't looking at that foolishness. You trying to aggravate me, but I don't even want to entertain this. I don't even want to entertain. Listen, y'all. Look, for anybody, all of my mods, all of my moderators, all right, let them rock. I know that y'all ain't censoring nobody because you already know what it is, but I just want to make sure that we set a precedent in here today. All right, I want to make sure that we set the precedent. Just because somebody say something to me or they call me out of my name or whatever, we're not censoring nobody over here. We not preventing them from being able to say what they want to say. Let them rock. Let them rock. Let them get their shit off. Hopefully they don't go and do somebody and beat up their wife when they get home because they can get their energy off in here. Let them rock. Hopefully they ain't over there. You know what I'm saying? They can get they can get it out over here so that they not over there, you know what I'm saying, disrespecting themselves when they get back home. Let them rock. We saved a wife today because we letting them get their energy off in here. We saved somebody from getting beat up today because we saved a woman from getting called a bitch because the person, the dudes that's in their feminine energy. The dudes that's in their feminine energy, they're not gonna call a chick out of her name just because she don't want to talk to them when they walk past. Let them get their stuff off. Let them get their. I'm dead serious. I'm dead. Let them get their stuff off. Let them get it. Let them get it off. They need to do it. They got to get it off. We gonna let them rock out in here. We don't censor people here. Let them get it off. We cool with it. We not censoring nobody. That's what evil do. Evil got to get that energy out. It's evil. They evil. They don't have a night. They don't have a cool. Look, let me tell y'all something about evil people. I've studied them. I've profiled them like the FBI. I profiled them like the FBI. Do you know? Let's say, for example, have y'all ever ran into somebody? And then we're gonna go over to the next part of the show. Have y'all ever ran into somebody and they say stuff like this? They use talking points. They'll say, "We want you to acknowledge racism. We want you to acknowledge and recognize this happens." And you could be 100% disagreement with them, and you could be respectful, but they're gonna be on you, right? And they're gonna say stuff like, "We want you to acknowledge this," or why won't they acknowledge? Say her name, say his name, say their name, or whatever, right? And so let's say, for example, I did an experiment before, and I said, "Okay, cool. Why won't you acknowledge that that slavery was a real thing and all of this other type of stuff?" And I say, "Okay, cool. I acknowledge that racism is a thing, that there's still racism, and that slavery is a real thing, right?" And so you acknowledge them. Guess what happens? They're not happy. You don't change their mind. They don't start treating people nice. They don't become your friend. They don't become nicer. I've debated with people on the street. People know this. And I say, "Oh, okay, cool. I agree with you on that one." And they say, "Well, what about this?" "Yeah, okay, cool. That's cool. I acknowledge that." And then if they're not satisfied with the fact that you acknowledge them, then they go and find somebody else. "Man, you a white devil over there." That's what they do, because they don't have any rest in their spirit. It's a gnashing. It's a demon. It has to feed off of confrontation and evil. So even if you want to have a reasonable discussion, they're going to turn it into a debate because they are thirsty. They need something or someone to continue to feed that hunger. They're Galactus out here. You know what I'm saying? They have to continue to feast and feed on planets. And it just grows, and the hunger grows, and it grows, and it grows, and that's it. They don't ever be like, "Yeah, man, okay, you know what? We see eye to eye." They don't do none of that. So what you got to do is you just got to let them rock. They dogs chasing cars. They are dogs chasing, just absolutely miserable people. Absolutely miserable people. There's somebody I heard that got fired let me see this. There's somebody got fired for reporting on Charlie Kirk and saying some wild stuff about him. Y'all heard about that? MSNBC analyst got fired. Let me see. Let me pull that up.
Christina. Coleman is back live with that. Christina. That's right, Tracy. We're hearing that this political contributor, Matthew Dode, got fired. And unfortunately, some on the left in the media, they've made some controversial comments following Charlie Kirk's political assassination. Take a listen.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as a justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. You can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up on what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech.
Why would he say something like that? Why would he say something like that? Why? Listen. When people are trying to discover and figure out what is going on, this is what you say. But I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, he's the wildest one. Bro, I did a whole video highlighting and showing you some of the stuff that people were saying online. Here, let me see if I can find my video, because I know a lot of them actually deleted their you know, what it is that they said, right? So I'm gonna see if I can find it for you guys. Give me a second. So first of all, you got an Alphabet community member right here, an Alphabet community member that has a bonnet on. Listen, look. Listen, y'all. Listen to what I'm saying. Y'all not paying attention here. Y'all not paying attention here, bro. These people have a look. I'm telling you that people that think like this, do things like this, they have a look. They are weird, bro. They are weird. They are so weird. These are the weirdest group of people that I've ever seen in my entire life. I could tell the way that a person votes just based off of his bonnet. I guarantee you that's how some of these people look inside of the chat. Big, weird, sloppy, talk like women, don't got an ounce of masculinity in them. Broke, dusty, all of that stuff. These are, listen, I'm telling you the profile of a raging liberal. Can we have a conversation? Can I educate y'all? I'm telling you the profile of a raging liberal. They have a look to them. Have you seen, like, have y'all noticed that the more that Amanda Seals talks, the more black she becomes, the more sloppy she looks, the more her edges is all messed up, how she looks like a liberal? That's a fact. Most liberals are alphabet community members. They bisexual. This is the honest to God truth. Most liberals, they don't have rules. They don't have a limit. They'll try anything. They modern day hippies. Bisexual, men, women, they try it all. At least he thought about it. He thought about it. You can't tell me that this man that put this, you can't tell me that he ain't got no femininity to him. It's a facts. Look at this man. Look at him. He got a nose ring. He got a bonnet. You said it, not me, dog. You said it, not me. He put his camera up. He got a nose, and guess what? He deleted the video immediately. If I had to guess, now I'm not saying that this is 100% true. If I had to guess, I would say that his girlfriend is a boyfriend. Look, always somebody with no profile picture. Let them rock. Let them rock. Let the boy girls in the chat rock. It's always somebody with no profile picture. Let me see something real quick. Give me a second. I just got to see something. I want to do a little bit of research. Because I'm trying to understand something. And I need to know, and I got to find out for myself. So I just want to see something real quick. See if I can figure this out. Bop, 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 bop. I don't understand, bro. That's all right. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to make it my personal mission to make some people uncomfortable with my rhetoric. Let me keep playing.
Hey, black people, before you start, yes, Charlie Kirk got pew-pew. This is not our fight. They literally kill us for less. Do not get on here talking about, and no, just because you don't agree with somebody politically means that. Stop it. Because I've already started seeing it. Stop. Let the white folks deal with that shit. It was a white-on-white crime. This is not our time to be black saviors to these motherfucking devils. Fuck. I've seen it 20 times. You get on my mother. Glocks and prayers to Charlie Kirk.
And I want y'all to know that this is not singular to just black people. There's lots of people.
Just a reminder that.
Listen to what she said.
You know, my mother. Glocks and prayers to Charlie Kirk.
They always have a look. They're weird, bro. They weird. They loud, they wrong, they weird, they aggressive. All of that, bro. They got filters, nose rings. The girls and the guys, they're interchangeable. The men wear the same thing that the women wear. The women wear bonnets, the men wear bonnets. The women wear nose rings, the men wear nose rings. Right? The women sit down and pee, the men sit down and pee. Even if they only got to pee, he's sitting down and peeing. This is normal. This is all normal, okay?
Just a reminder that one of the reasons that he supports the gun laws the way that they are is because he thinks that there's the opportunity for good people with a gun to stop bad people with a gun. I'm just curious how that worked out for him at this event that he was at.
Looking like little boys can be interchangeable. We don't know if this is Joanne or Jason. They look like little boys. They could be interchangeable. Boy, girl. It's all the same to them. It's all the same to them. Man, listen, these people are so evil and demonic. If they could, they would. You know what the next thing is? You know what their next play is? Their next play is not changing their gender. The next play is not changing their gender. You know what the next play is? try to get both. They're going to try to get both. Listen. They're going to try to get both. Because I promise you they want to do it to themselves. I promise you that's the next step. They're going to try to get both, and then they're going to try to do it to themselves. Mark my words. Mark my words. Why cut it off when you can get both? And then you can put one nickel in the slot. Yeah, so we in the cuckoo. Bruce Willis in the chat. I'm pretty sure that I'm telling you that boy kissed the boy. I kissed the boy. I'm telling you that boy kissed the boy in the chat. It's a guy named Bruce Willis that don't have a profile picture. It's a guy named Bruce Willis that don't have a profile picture in this chat. He named himself after a person that don't even know where they at, don't have a profile picture. And I promise you, I guarantee you on everything that he bit a pillow before. I promise you, pillow biter. Pillow biter. Where's his? If Bruce Willis got a girlfriend, see, there you go. As soon as you speak up the devil, they can't but hide. They can't help themselves, bro. They can't help themselves. The minute that you speak up their name, they got, he know I'm biting pillows. They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. Pillow biters. His boyfriend got a boyfriend. His boyfriend got a boyfriend. I'm telling you, bro. Don't even got his real name. And if it is his real name, his mama, his daddy and his mama was so enamored with a white man that they named him after him. Assuming that his name is his name, that's not even his real name. Like, they named him after a movie star. Boy, your parents didn't even like, your parents liked a white man. Your parents say, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That's what your parents was saying as your daddy was plowing your mama. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. You a mistake. You a weirdo. You a weirdo. I know that your bank account, you got to check your savings and your checking to try to figure out whether or not you can get to and from. I know you can't wait for Thursdays to hit. I know it. I know it. You a pillow biter, boy. You a pillow biter, boy. Oh, you don't want me to interact with the chat no more, huh? Y'all don't want me to interact with the chat no more. Oh, you want me to be nice. No. Red. You have to understand. This is exactly what masculinity looks like. Masculinity is not allowing for pillow biters to continue to get away with it. I am not a welcoming person. I'm not a censoring person, but I am not a welcoming person. I am not the type of person that makes you feel comfortable. I'm not none of that. Now y'all don't want me to say nothing to you, huh? When we start doing that? When we start doing that? Listen, bro, it's different. The rules has changed. The rules of the game is different now. The rules of the game is different. The rules of the it's different now. Look, they're obsessed with my money. Who said anything about money? You're so-called rich. Who said anything about look, they know all about me. This dude has studied me. He all on my dick. Think about it for a second, though. He subscribed because he can't type to anything in the chat unless he subscribed. Oh, I'm going to derail all the time. He subscribed. He be all over. This ain't the first time I seen him. He ain't just subscribed today in order to be able to say what it is that he wanted to say. He was subscribed before I started talking. I just spoke him up. When you call a demon and the devil for what it is, they don't like that because they want to keep their mask on. They want to silently say stuff. Okay, come on to the front of the congregation then, demon. He subscribed. He is subscribed, bro. And he not going to unsubscribe either. That's the big part about it. I could talk all day long and they will not unsubscribe. You know why? Because they want the same entertainment and game that y'all get. Yeah, now they want to censor me. Now they want me to be quiet. Anton, no, you can't censor me. You can't censor me. You can't censor me. Look, idiots. You ain't no Detroit dog. You're light in the loafers. You see this nerd trying to be tough? Have y'all seen this nerd? Bro, all right, I got you. I figured it out. I know your type. You ain't no Detroit dog. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. You got it, baby girl. You got it. Oh, man. Keep riding my nuts. Bro. I got you, baby girl. Hey, y'all let these people rock in the chat, man. Don't censor them. Let them rock out. This is the best part of their day. They got to, because when I cut the computer off, they got to go home. When I cut the computer off, they got to go home. And you know that's a demon's lair. You know they don't like that shit. That boy is in that warehouse slinging them packages right now on his lunch break, trying to convince me that he tough. Boy, if you don't get back to work and do your job, get back to work, nigga. What you talking about? Before you get caught, you gonna get fired messing around with me. Get back to work. You gonna get back to work, nigga? Chasing people with no gun and a flash. Oh, y'all thought I was going somewhere. You thought that they was gonna censor me. Ain't nobody censoring me. I'm back. Ain't nobody censoring time, dog. I'm back. Don't worry about it. We good. Oh, you thought I had went somewhere? Oh. You thought I had went somewhere? Listen, we love y'all. Let me see what else that I want to talk about. What else is happening? What else is going on in the streets? Y'all see what's happening in France? Maybe I'll cover that on the other channel, on the Anton Daniels channel. Let me see what's happening in these streets. Oh, did y'all see what was going on in Chicago? All right, I gotta bring y'all in on what's happening in Chicago, and then I'm gonna read super chats. All right, I got y'all. Give me a second. I gotta bring y'all in on what's going on in Chicago.
News from the Magnificent Mile after a smash and grab on Michigan Avenue turns deadly. The thieves ran into the store, but their getaway ended in this crash with parts of Michigan Avenue still shut down. Our Lauren Victory live for us at Walton and Michigan. That's the scene of that smash and grab right behind you. And Lauren, I understand you have new information.
Yeah, Marie, this just came in from police. A male driver in his 40s is dead after burglars fleeing the scene here smashed into him. The tragedy apparently all began shortly before 5 a.m. That's when an eyewitness staying at the Drake Hotel across the street began shooting cell phone video of a truck backing up to ram the glass at the Louis Vuitton store. Several people squeezed inside and run back out with what appears to be merchandise. This goes on for at least a full minute. The burglars then took off down Michigan Avenue where they struck a man driving a Honda CR-V. That innocent bystander was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. 5 men in the getaway car were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries and are now in police custody.
Y'all demons, bro. That's it. That's Bruce Willis's the person in the chat, not the actor. That's Bruce Willis's friends right there. Y'all are straight up demons. Y'all demons. And it's always the innocent person that's just in their Honda CR-V, chilling, slow motion, and chilling in his CR-V, minding his business. Next thing you know, you got a bunch of ghetto folks that just got done backing into the Louis Vuitton store on the Magnificent Mile to break in and steal some handbags. And next thing you know, they kill somebody in the getaway car. Y'all are the worst, bro. Y'all are absolutely the worst. And then they'll sit there and defend these type of criminals, defend this type of behavior. Y'all don't never hold nobody accountable that's in y'all neighborhood that's trash. Y'all don't really care about yourselves. Y'all hate each other. You hate yourself. You hate the world. You just trying to take everybody else down with you. Y'all the worst ever, bro. You steal a truck, back it into the Louis Vuitton store on the Magnificent Mile. Y'all just got done breaking into the Rolex store last week. Last week, y'all had ice picks and hammers, and you broke into the Rolex store and you stole some stuff over there. Now you doubled down and you went over and you backed into the Louis Vuitton store on the Magnificent Mile. Then you did the getaway, run into somebody who probably your father, and you kill somebody, and all of y'all still survive. And here's the worst part about it. They probably gonna get out. They probably gonna get out. They gonna get bail, Safety Act over there. They gonna get bail. They gonna get out of jail. They gonna get out of prison. They gonna get out with a promissory note to show back up in court, courtesy of Brandon Johnson and the aldermen and the Chicagoans, along with J.B. Pritzker. Unreal, bro. Unreal. Bruce Willis says, what's your favorite flavor of shoe polish, Anton? I don't really know what that means, but I know what my favorite look of nail polish is. It's the one that your girl got on her fingers that she, let me be quiet. You right. All right, you had your 15 minutes, man. You still on my net? You still on my dick?
It is the second time in less than a week that the Mag Mile's seen major police activity. Burglars used hammers to break the glass at the Rolex store on Friday. They snatched watches, but were caught by Chicago police after leading officers on a chase and crashing their getaway car. 5 out of 6 people arrested in that case are due in court today on felony theft charges. Back out here live, it appears more investigators are arriving on scene. They were starting to measure the windows a few minutes ago, and the door to this pickup truck was opened about an hour ago. Looks like they're going to start beginning processing some evidence inside that car, possibly taking fingerprints. Again, this is the smash and grab, or this is the location of where that smash and grab then turned deadly with that car crash. Police tell us 2 other offenders were taken into custody on DuSable Lakeshore Drive that were related to all this. That's in addition to the 5 that were taken into custody at the hospital. Reporting live on Michigan and Walton.
So they were trying to piece this together because I actually did a review video on this that I haven't even released on the Anton Daniels channel, right? And so they was trying to piece this together because on the highway, they had arrested some people that was on the highway. And then obviously it was a accident, which we now know what that accident was. And it was 2 cars that was flipped over. People got taken to the hospital and all of that. And then obviously the footage that they got of them crashing into the Louis Vuitton store were straight from all of the patrons that were showing it on social media because they were staying in a hotel across the street from the Louis Vuitton store on the Magnificent Mile. They were staying at the Drake Hotel. And so now they put it all together. And what happened was they stole a Ram, backed it into the Louis Vuitton store, stole a bunch of handbags. They're going to be going to jail for manslaughter and for vehicular homicide. They're going to be in jail, hopefully, for the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years because they were looking to steal handbags out of the Magnificent Mile Louis Vuitton store. Can you imagine that? Yo, fam, what you in for? Yo, we was robbing handbags that it probably cost them $45 to make a piece that they selling for $3,000 on the Magnificent Mile. And then we wind up running into somebody and killing them and taking him away from his family. And then we got into an accident ourselves. And so they handcuffed us to our beds in a hospital room to make sure that we don't get away. And now we killed somebody and removed them from their father and their mother. And so now we in prison for the next 45 years and we got to keep biting pillows. Imagine going to prison because you went to go steal some handbags, bro. Handbags. Y'all are the worst group of people that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. Worst group of people that I've ever seen in my entire life. And when I say group of people, I'm not talking about your color. I'm talking about the culture of criminals, the culture of people that are willing to do the worst things to America and the worst things to other people and put their hands and steal other people's stuff. The worst things ever, bro. And then you know what the funniest part about it is? Yeah, they released some photos. I put the photos up of the shooter. The FBI released some photos and they looking to see who gonna find the photos. You know what the worst part about this whole situation is? And then you got legislators that monetize y'all because they want y'all to continue to commit crimes so that they can get money from the federal government to say that they lowering crime statistics. The worst ever. Oh, look at him running in the Victim Olympics. Of course, Anton ever only dogs out black people. No, I don't. I don't dog out black people. I dog out black culture. It's a difference. The culture and some of the people are different. Oh, listen. Oh, absolutely. We have to separate ourselves. 100%. Keith Woodson. I'm familiar with your type. We have to separate ourselves. There are black people, and then it's y'all. It's black people, and then it's y'all. Always running in the Victim Olympics. Always want somebody to feel good. Always. Absolutely. But this is the culture that we live in. These are the people that we have to deal with. And it is what it is. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the fix is. I don't know how we go about doing things differently. I don't know how we fix the culture in the community. The one thing that I will say, I'm about to read the super chats. The one thing that we will say is that we have to learn how to separate ourselves again. For whatever reason, y'all think that it's cool for y'all to continue to try to be a part of the cool kids club. Y'all think it's cool for y'all to try to be a part of the cool kids club. And you know, it just is what it is. Somebody said people are taking shots at you, Anton. That's what happens. Complaints go up, not down. Complaints go up, not down. We don't worry about what the less thans are doing. Y'all listen, you don't have to continue to try to remind me who don't like me or who do like me. I genuinely don't care. I won't mention other content creators unless it's to my benefit. So God bless. I hope they do well. I want them to continue to put my name in the algorithm because it works for both of us. It's the only way that they're able to get views, and it continues to promote me, and that's why I'm almost at 900,000 subscribers on the Anton Daniels channel. Where are we at on the Anton Daniels channel right now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we right there. We right there. So I'm cool with it. I've never complained about anybody. I've never complained about anybody that mentions my name. I appreciate them. That's what comes with the terrible. That's what happens when you're a winner. Winners win, losers lose. Winners win, losers lose. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm going to continue to win. And I'm going to continue to interact with the chat because I love what it is that I do. And I drew my line in the sand. I drew my line in the sand. We here, baby. We here. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Let me read the super chats and then we're going to continue on with the show. Or, you know what? I think I'm going to take a nap. James Reed. What up to James Reed says, from a military standpoint, Charlie was in what we call a kill zone. Yeah. I watched the video of Charlie and I knew he was gone. No one could survive that. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't want to say it out loud. Anton Hill says, we are supposed to be better, but continue to go backwards, scared to see what's coming. Nice name, bro. Nice name, bro. Will Hawkins Photography says, these demons are running wild. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is knowing and acquainted. If you speak on this positively, you will burn. Mia, what up, Mia? I appreciate you for the super sticker. J Ben says, I dislike color ticks, but white on white crime is insane. No one is even covering that second. I did. I covered it, J Ben. People don't even know it. Here, I'll show it to you. I'm about to show it to you. I cover everything. See, what they'll try to tell you, J Ben, what they'll try to tell you is that Anton only talks about white people. I mean, about black people. They lying. They lying. That's just them because they are victims. I covered it. Literally, the video dropped at 12 p.m. today, Eastern time. I actually covered that. Covered it this morning, dropped it at 12 p.m. today. But what they'll try to convince you, J Ben, is, oh no, Anton doesn't address this. Anton doesn't address that. Oh, I absolutely address it. That is them running in the Victim Olympics all day long. All day. I cover everything and everybody. And if stuff is happening, and I gotta bring it to the front of the congregation. Mrs. Jasmine in the building says, I'm licensed to carry, but at this point make guns illegal because they've caused more harm than good. I disagree with that. The people most of the time that are committing the most of the crime, they are not legally carrying guns. And I am not ever going to give up my ability to defend myself. Mia says, what up, though? I appreciate you, Mia. Wyatt 856 says, when your views and principles are similar to Kirk's, then the people you rock with are rejoicing. Makes you want to turn your circle of people into a period, and it's exhausting. We got to fight the good fight. Sly White says, will Van Jones be concerned about mental health of this guy? Death over the exercising of rights is sickening. Keep up the great work, Time Dog. Absolutely. And make sure y'all tap into after hours tonight because we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to get it popping. Cycle Gamer says, could start a black versus white thing if it was a ninja, in my opinion. Jasmine says accountability equals kryptonite for the majority, Anton. Nelly says, I fear we are only beginning to see the effects of powerful attention algorithms combined with years of social isolation during the COVID pandemic. Smooth Artist says, I blocked so many friends on Facebook celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. It's no longer right versus left is good versus evil. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I'm not even on Facebook no more, bro. I think I still got a page. Rico Champion says, yo, Anton, bring back opening up the show with prayer, bro. Grace and peace from Cincinnati. Keep winning, champ. You know what? I do, but I pray before I get on the live stream. Y'all want me to do it on the live stream? All right, I'll try to remember to do it on the live stream also. Chris Cunningham says the second is for the tyrannical government. F her. Equal Opportunity Smoke says, I don't know why they think a ban on guns will actually work. Well, it just makes you unable to defend yourself in your own home. Mr. Joe says black people are calling Charlie racist because he told them white privilege doesn't exist and stop celebrating rap music and baby mama culture. Okay, what's wrong with that? Service USA says, in remembrance of those, I agree with you. I agree with Mr. Joe's and Charlie Kirk's sentiment. And Service USA says, in remembrance of those that lost their lives on 9/11, prayers out to Mr. Kirk's family. May the good Lord watch over the United States of America in these harsh times. The main manager, what up to the manager, says NYC has some of the toughest weapon laws and you can't even carry a taser legally. How has that helped in stopping the criminals stabbing and shooting? It hasn't. It hasn't, but it's a good politicized talking point for the left. Daddy and the Caddy says it's not a gun issue or even a mental health issue. It's a spiritual issue. School pow-pows are a new phenomenon correlated to declining religion numbers or percentages. Miss Jasmine says it's immoral. Thank you, Jasmine, for holding me down today. It's immoral and disrespectful that we can't even come together in someone's demise, that we can't even have sympathy and compassion for their family. What has the world come to? Democrats, JB Chanel, is that what it is? Democrats took out that one House Representative, Melissa Hortman, a Democrat, when she just voted with the Republicans on a bill. They took her out the very next day. See, they demonic. They take out their own people. Jack, I'm in the buy. Nate Carter says they slanging that bussy in the chat. Facts. Mass Man says we have to pray for all those standing for God's truth and be aware of the shift in the spiritual realm that plays out in the natural blessings to all. Buddy 305 Love says folks posting negative videos on TikTok will be wondering why they don't have a job on Monday. Companies see these things. A lot of them is deleting it. Jasmine says, what the helly? Wet Nut says, when we win, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny, says Sam Hyde. JC says, okay, now leave us alone with those nose rings. Thoughts and prayers to America. Wet Nut says Bruce Willis is the one griping in the sheets. Charles says, I'm so broken by the death of Charlie Kirk. This was a message to all conservatives. They are trying to invoke fear. Wesley Turner says, now they want to censor UAD. Nah, I'm here. I'm chilling. Whiskey Pierre says, Anton, sir, shalom. True, they want both world now. They want both worlds now. Devin Watkins says they get mad when they take it when you take their mask off. James Reed says liberalism is its own religion based off of the version of self-love, their version of self-love. So you're right, Anton. And their next move is to have all of the parts. AD want them fries, says Wendell Kilgore. Manny Plays PC says always the innocent and never the perpetrators to end up dead. Keith Woodson says, is President Taco, thank you for paying for the super chat. I appreciate you, Keith Woodson. Is President Taco going to give Kirk a state funeral too? Donald Trump said we have to get over it. What? I don't even know what that means, but I appreciate you. Brando says, what up, AD? Do you believe that it's possible for a Christian not to be a conservative? Do I believe that it's possible for a Christian to not be conservative? Yes, I do think that that's possible. I think that you can be a Christian and independent. I think that you can be a Christian and not necessarily say that you're conservative. I believe that it's not possible for you to follow Christ and be a liberal. I believe that it's possible. I don't believe it's possible for you to be a Christian and follow Christ and say that you are a liberal. That's a better statement. That's a better statement. Supreme by Nature TV says, I forgot to include that they are pain freaks because they love the ridicule you give them. They are. Melkor says they ended him while committing a felony. It should be a murder charge. He knows better says, you see how many people are leaving the Democrats? Yep, they sealed their own fate. What up, Latoya says, hey, AD, I love your show. My husband would not allow me to join the Bag Chasers. I've been trying to convince him for months. Should I just give up? No. I think you should just listen. I think that you should, this is going to be controversial. You ready for my answer, Latoya? I'm going to read your question again. You said, hey, AD, I love your show. My husband would not allow me to join the Bag Chasers. I've been trying to convince him for months. Should I give up? Yes, you should give up trying to join the Bag Chasers against your husband's advice. I do not believe that I hate to say this because it actually goes against like what I think makes the most sense, but I can't tell you to go against your husband. I would never tell you to go against your husband. Ever. Listen, at the end of the day, Latoya, watch the show, enjoy, you know what I'm saying? Have a good time. I love you. I appreciate you. But let me tell you something. You got to lay next to him every day. And at the end of the day, he is the head of the household. So do not go against your husband. Do not join it against his wishes. Don't go behind his back. None of that at all. Make sure that you keep peace in your household because that's the person that you got to lay next to every day. I know that that's probably a weird answer. It's probably not the answer that you were looking for, but I got to be real. I got to be for real. I would never, ever, ever tell you to go against your man. Ever. I would never, ever tell you to go against your husband because I got to look out for what's in your best interest. Do I think that the Bag Chasers and the community that we rocking with is awesome? Absolutely. But I'm not willing to sow discord in your household. Because I know that most people would say, no, make sure you join and continue. Try to convince him. No, don't nag that man. Don't convince him. Just be a reflection of the thing that we advocate for and that we preach. And hopefully he sees the light in you and he gets curious about why you are so much better of a person because of the community that you support and the community that you rock with. Be the light, but don't nag him. Don't convince him because you just going to make him bitter towards it and it's going to make it seem like, well, what is it? Why are you keep on going against me? And show him. Yep, they said in it. Show him what I'm telling you. The timestamp right now. Show him what I'm telling you. Well, use good judgment and use good wisdom. What I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, I want what's best for people. But even though we entertain and even though we try to put the medicine in the candy, you know your man better than anybody. but also keep peace in your household and just be a reflection of it. Be a reflection of it. All right? Don't go against your man and don't cause no problems in your household. All right, that's what I stand for. Shout out to you, Latoya. That's a phenomenal question, though. That's a phenomenal question. I love that. And thank you for supporting the platform. And make sure you just continue to rock out with us. Daddy and the Caddy says haters will push your algorithm 1 million subs by Christmas. We're gonna see what happens. Turbulent Inflation says, what up though? What up, Turbulent Inflation? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Beat it up Kool-Aid says this dude, I don't know who that is. I've never watched their stuff. I see people saying it in my chat. Grizzy Grizzin says demons on crack, Democrats. Shout out to that. And shout out to you, Beat It Up Kool-Aid. I appreciate you. Thank you, Grizzy. I appreciate you also. All right. About to take a nap, man. About to take a nap. We got after hours tonight, y'all. I'm going to stay on top of the whole situation. Thank you to Chris Evans says, I just pray that nothing else happens on 9/11. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. We good. We good. We good. All right. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. I'm gonna try to get back in the in the other place, in the studio, and then we're gonna rock out from there. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all on After Hours tonight. Peace.